This is the 2018 question 9 part A cash budget of Jack Manning. So at the start of the question we see some information all about assets and then about liabilities. So as we go down through this is all assets, liabilities and capital on the 1st of the 1st 2018. So this cash figure here is going to be our opening cash. Okay, we'll deal with that a little bit later. Debtors is going to be 82,100. So this is going to be our first initial month of sales. Debtors are individuals that owe us money, or customers, so that'll be our first month of sales. That's always the rule in cash budgeting, which you'll see from the PowerPoint presentation. In terms of liabilities, creditors is in relation to purchases, so the suppliers that we purchased of. So this 50,300 will be our first month of purchases. Capital we'll revisit a little bit later. Then we're given some information about cash and purchases over the next 5 months. We're given additional information here, and then ultimately we are asked to prepare a cash budget showing Jack Manning's recorded expected monthly receipts and payments for the 5 months from January to May 2018, and also the total column for the period. So this is what we're going to work on in this question. So for the purpose of this, I have ruled out the budget, which you'll have to do. So you'll see it starts off with 7 columns you'll need. So you have receipts, then you'll have your 5 months, and also you'll need a total column. I have put in money a euro symbol underneath if you want to do that, or alternatively you can write the euro symbol each figure. And then I have, that's Jack Manning, and it's his cash budget for January to May 2018. So these budgets always start off with any receipts. So the only mention of receipts that we have is from sales. And as I've already mentioned, the first month is always our debtors figure, the 82,100. So I'm going to put that in here. And in the first month, as I said, it's 82,100. Okay. For the subsequent months then, we go to our grid and we'll see our information on our sales here. But we do have some additional information. So all sales are on credit and paid for 1 month after sale. So the sales from January will be payable in February. And in February it will be March, and March will be April, and so on. So I'm just going to insert that information now. So in February, 44,200. In March, 89,400. In April, 88,100. In May, 57,900. Okay, so we do have information here for May, but please note that this is a figure, this 81,600 is a figure that we'll revisit when it comes to the balance sheet. So we'll just put a little dot beside that because we will come back to that. Okay, so I'll just give you a minute now with all of our months in for sales to add up all of your total sales for the month. And when you do, it's 361,700. So these figures now, there's no other receipts. So this is going to be now our total receipts. I'm just going to get you to write out this line again. And also our total line. And if we just put a double underline, I suppose, underneath each figure, showing these are all of your receipts. So you have your sales and then you have your total receipts for each month. Okay, so the next part of this now is we're looking down our payments. So our payments, so we'll start off with, from the beginning, the creditors are the purchases, okay, of 50,300. Of 50,300. And we'll see then in the grid, we have all record then of our monthly purchases. But before we do, we look at some additional information. So all purchases are on credit and paid for 1 month after the month of purchase, except for 28,000 cash in April. So we'll start off and we'll be mindful of when we come to the April figure. So we'll insert all of these figures. So you can just about see it here. We already have our January one done. So our January-February figure to be paid in February is 48,100. Then in March it's 48,200. And then I'm just going to have a look now at the April figure. So just remind ourselves what it said. All purchases are on credit and paid for 1 month after the month of purchase, except for 28,000 in cash in April. So if you look at the actual figure there for March, and you will see that we have 42,300. So this figure now we need to take into consideration. So I'm just going to put up mine here. So in March we had 42,300 that was due to be paid in April. But now, because of this additional information, we know that 28,000 of it was cash. So when we add the two of those together, we will get the figure, new figure for April, which is 70,300. So that is now the figure for April because of our credit and our cash purchases. So now we look at a figure for May. So we'll go back to this here now. So if we look at our original figure there, for the April figure of purchases, which is 34,700, and we will do a little adjustment on this. So 34,700, and we know that 28,000 has already been paid cash, so we need to take that into consideration here. Okay, so when we do, we put in our new figure now for May, which is 6,700, taken because of our new adjustment of the payment of 28,000. So I'll get you now to add up all of your purchases. And when you do, you should get 223,600. Okay, so going on to the next part of the adjustments. So we've dealt with sales, we've dealt with purchases. Now we're looking at Jack rents the premises for 42,000 per annum payable monthly. So Jack pays rent. So in this, it tells us it's 42,000 payable annually, means he pays it for the year, which is 42,000. So to find out what that is per month, you divide it by 12. I'll give you a minute to calculate that. And when you do, that works out as 3,500. So Jack must pay that now per month. So you fill in that figure for each month, and when you add those together then, you get 17,500. So going on to the next one, equipment will be bought in March for 6,000. So we'll add this in here, equipment. Because it's only in March, I'm going to put a dash to the months, the other months. I'm going to make sure then to put my 6,000 into the total also. So the next part of the question, wages per month will be 16,400. So I'm going to put this in here. So each month has 16,400, and when you add those together, you should get 82,000 euro. And look back to our next part. So we have wages per month. Okay, and then closing stock we will deal with later, and net profit we'll deal with later. So once we're at this stage, you should have 4 lots of payments there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what you need to do now is do a line for total payments, and here is where you're going to add just per month the total payments. So we need to do a total payments for January and these 3 figures. Okay, so when you do, you should get 70,200 for January, for February 68,000, for March 74,100, for April 90,200, for May 26,600, and then for our total payments, so 329,100. So what I would do now is I would put a line under these figures. Okay, so now we have our total payments. So for the next part of this question, you need to work out what net cash is. Net cash is gotten by total receipts from January, take away total payments. So in this case, it's 82,100, subtract away 70,200 to get net cash. I'll just give you a minute to do that. And when you get the answer, it's 11,900. I'm going to do the same for February. I'm going to do total receipts, take away total payments. And in this one, you'll see it's a deficit of 23,800. I'm going to continue on doing it for each month. So in March, it's 15,300. It's another deficit here in April, and then in May. Okay, and then your overall total again, total receipts take away total payments, and you're left with in this month 32,600. So you've worked out all your total receipts, take away total payments for each one. Then we move on to this part, which is the opening cash. So I might have mentioned this at the beginning. The opening cash was 31,200. So opening cash always goes into the first month and then the total. So the first month is January, and then the total column 31,200. So that's important that you learn to put those in there. And then the final part of this is the closing cash. And we get closing cash. So before I do this, I'm just going to quickly do a line under each one of these. So to get your closing cash, you add the net cash plus the opening cash per month. So just give you a minute to do that. And when you do, it's 43,100. So I got this, the closing cash for January, by adding net cash plus opening cash. So I got 43,100. The rule of budgets is the closing cash of one month is the opening cash of the next month. So 43,100. Now the opening cash of February. So in this case, again, it's the opening cash plus the net cash, but we have a deficit, so you need to subtract that away. And in this, you'll get now 19,300 as the closing cash of February. So this is now going to be the opening cash of May. I'm going to add these two together, the net cash plus the opening cash, to get 34,600, which is my closing cash for for March. And then my opening cash for April is 34,600, which is my opening cash for April. I have a slight deficit, so I need to subtract it away here. And when I do, I have 32,500, which is the closing cash for April, which is now the opening cash for May. So the closing cash of April is 32,500 and the opening cash is 32,500 for May. So now I add these two together, and when you do, you get 63,800. So at this stage now, you have one side which is your significant balance. So we add now the net cash and the opening cash from the total column, and when you do, you get 63,800, which is now the same as the previous figure from May, so you know that the figure has balanced. And that is your question, your overall budget. So I advise that you have a ruler handy and that you go down through each part of the question and you learn the rules such as net cash, opening cash and closing cash.